The biggest hindrance to your success in life is actually yourself. It's your mind. It's how you choose to think. See, a lot of people set limitations for themselves, and those limitations create self-imposed identities. And we never consistently act in a way that's inconsistent with the habits we developed, or how we choose to view ourselves in accordance to our limitations. So when we say things like, yo, I suck at this, or yo, I can't do that, those limitations are forming our identities, and our identities are creating our actions, which then determine the outcomes we get in life. That means our limitations are determining the outcomes we get. What people don't understand, or what they don't live according to, is this principle. All skills can be learned and traits developed. That means if I have a limitation for myself, such as I can't do math, well, that skill can be learned, which means when I learn it, I can then change my identity and have better actions and produce better outcomes. Or if I have a characteristic trait, like, yo, I'm not a kind person, well, that can be developed. And by developing that, I once again have a different identity and I produce different actions which determine different outcomes. So how do we do this? How do we change our limitations, our beliefs, so we then can change our identities and have better actions? We do this by not focusing necessarily on the belief, but by focusing on the action. See, I'm sure you guys heard of be, do, have. As in, if you want to have something, you have to be a person that does the things that get the outcome. And I disagree with that. I don't believe it's be, do, have. I believe it's just do, have. As in, I don't have to become the person who does the thing. I can do the thing regardless of the person I am. I don't have to be a kind person to then do kind things and then get the outcome of what kind people produce. I can just do kind things and that produces the outcome. So what I'm getting at is, in order to change your beliefs, do different actions. Because your actions they create evidence that you can point to then have different beliefs. For example, if I have a limitation in a self-imposed identity of saying I'm not a kind person, well, if I consistently do actions that kind people do, I then get the outcome of being kind. And by having that outcome that surpasses the limitation that I have for myself, that's inconsistent with the self-imposed identity that I have, I then can have evidence to point to then raise my standards, to then have different limitations, and then have a different identity, which helps me to then continually do those actions, which then determine better outcomes for myself. And that's how we do it. See, positive outcomes are the result of consistent positive behaviors. So if I say a limitation, I suck at math, well, if I want a positive outcome of getting a good grade on my math test, I have to consistently have positive behaviors. I have to study, I have to listen well, I have to take good notes. By having those behaviors, I get the outcome, even though, guess what? I'm not the person yet. Be, do, have. Be the person, then get the outcome. No, I'm not a good person at math yet, but I can still get the outcome because I have the doing, I have the behaviors, and the behaviors create the outcome, not yourself. But guess what? After I get the outcome, I then can become the person. I then become a good at math person that then becomes my identity, and then I get the be, do, have. But the do always comes first. So if this video helped you in any way, please leave that in the comments and leave any suggestions in the comments. I want to get better at making videos. For example, someone told me I was speaking too fast, so I tried to slow it down in this video. As you can tell, if it's too slow, leave that in the comments as well. But yeah, that's the video for today. Just don't have these self-imposed limitations for yourselves that prevent you from having better actions that determine better outcomes in life. Just don't do that, because that hinders your success. So thank you guys for watching.